Amanda, call the roll, please.
Owens?
Here.
Bills?
Present.
Curtis?
Yes.
Johnson? Yes. Anderson?
Present. Quorum. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Mr. Mills, is there a second? Curtis. Any questions on the agenda? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Any public comments? Seeing none, we'll go to liability and general insurance update.
We removed 3 vehicles. We should have a credit here shortly, and we'll issue a check back to the county, and issued 1 certificate of insurance on the copier system for Mr. Moore. They're still working on the loss control and coordinating with Sheriff and Mr. Moore as well. Questions for me?
No? All right, thank you, sir.
All right, thank you.
Susie Warner, group insurance.
Things are quiet on our end. Things are going good, so that's a good sign. But right now, things are just quiet on that end.
Okay.
Yep. Any questions?
Likely, yes.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
Department head reports. What's happening at 911?
Nothing new, waiting on a board for the furnace right now. Right now we dealt with a lot of that Pembroke fire issue, so we got a lot of phone calls for that, a lot of fire departments were dispatched for that. Not a whole bunch new other than that. Right now we're just kind of getting ready for summer and all of its wonderful weather.
Everything that comes with it, yeah.
Right now we're running 1 person short. I'm working on trying to hire somebody as soon as I can. I got feelers out, got 1 out to veterans assistance, see if we can get somebody in there to fill that hole. If not, then I'm going to have to start going out to newspapers and reaching out to the general public.
Okay. Mindy?
The solid waste CD is coming up for renewal this week at Iroquois Federal. Called around and got rates, and Iroquois Federal offered us the best rate at 2.0. So we'll go ahead and roll that over.
Okay.
And tax bills are being printed and stuffed, and hopefully will go in the mail by tomorrow, if not Monday.
Can't wait for that.
Mm-hmm.
Dee?
Board of Health met last night, so we had our monthly Board of Health meeting. It was full board this time. Nothing new since Health Committee on Tuesday.
Mr. Sacy?
I'm sure everybody's heard we were denied by the federal government from the governor's request for individual assistance. That would have been grants to people, to residents, home residents in Iroquois County for the flooding disaster. The governor has requested SBA assistance, which would be low interest loans. Stay tuned to see if we get that or not. With that being said, there have been some questions about whether or not there is an appeal process for the FEMA denial. There is an appeal process, but for that I would have to have new information. And concerning that grant program, individual assistance, I don't have any new information because I gave it all to them. So there's no way we can make an appeal in Iroquois County. In other news, I've started spending money for my EOC Tech grant. My claims were a bit larger this month, but that was at policy and procedure committee meeting. So that's moving forward. That's all I have.
All right, thank you. Probations?
Nothing much. Contract negotiations still moving forward. We meet again next week, so as you know, that contract expired November 30th, so hopefully soon. That's
Skip the sheriff for a second. Joel?
We've got a pretty busy meeting tomorrow. I've got bid opening for 2 new tandems, our annual striping contract and resurfacing contract. I got a couple
vehicles that were mentioned that were taken off the county's insurance, 2 of those were, well, I guess actually all 3 of them were at the sheriff's office. One was the Ford F-250 pickup that we got for the maintenance department from County Highway when they were done with it. I think it was a 2002. We got rid of a white van that we used to use for transport, which was a 2004, and then we had a 2000 Jeep Cherokee that was a squad car. One ran, the other 2 didn't. Acme Auto Salvage ended up taking all 3 of them. I gave the check to Anita last week, and she, I think, said she was going to put it back into some kind of capital, well, not sheriff's capital, but some kind of capital fund. It wasn't all that much, $1,100, I think is what it was. But other than that, I passed out to all the board members some information. This is the time to talk about salaries because you have to set them every 4 years. And I would ask the Finance Committee and all the board members to take a look at that for several reasons. You've heard me talk about the discrepancy base salary-wise between sergeants, lieutenants, and the sheriff, and that was due to a freeze on the sheriff's salary. It actually remained the same for 5 years. If you look at what policy and procedure proposed, that gap is going to widen between the lieutenant and the sheriff after the next 4 years. All the other elected officials that are getting raises in that, those raises are going to widen the gap between the office holder or department head and who they supervise. The sheriff's is going to work in the opposite direction. The sheriff's salary is going to widen from those that the sheriff supervises. So, tongue-in-cheek, I'm hoping this isn't a personal thing. But as I've said many times, there's nowhere else in county government that the department head or elected official is making not only less, but anywhere near what the employees that they supervise don't make anywhere near what they make. So I just ask that you look at that very strongly because it's going to be set for 4 years. And if it continues that trend, at some point there's going to have to be a board that's going to try and catch up on it. And I hope that this is a board that we've been through some rough times. Sheriff's office took its lumps. I'm working with a reduction of 1/3 of the staffing from 2010 till now. The correctional officers and deputies do a fantastic job out there for the resources that they have, and the reduction in manpower, affects them. Not only are they handling more calls for service individually, backup's not there for them, but they don't come to me complaining. They love this job. They want to continue to do it. They love living in Iroquois County. So we've taken our lumps over the years, and I'm just asking now that this committee and the board, the full board itself, take a look at that salary structure at the sheriff's office, because the current proposal that came out of policy, it's going to increase the gap between a lieutenant and what the sheriff makes.
Did you pass out anything? Is it in the box?
I put stuff in everybody's boxes last week, yes. Other than that, I'm going to be testing for deputy positions. I have to maintain a list. That's going to happen this month. Actually, the physical agility test, I think, is on the 19th. And then I believe it's June 2nd. On a Saturday is the written test. So I hope to have a list established by the end of June, beginning of July. The last time we tested was in 2016, so it was time to do it again.
Any questions for sheriff or any other department head? That, talking about those vehicles got rid of, was that F-250, did they have a plow with it?
It did. It had a plow that, we looked at removing the plow and keeping it with us, but, after a valiant effort, by our maintenance supervisor, to get the, I guess I'm gonna call it the hookup for the plow that was attached to the truck off, it was getting to the point where we were gonna need a torch to cut the bolts to get it off, so, and that,
I think that's what originally got that truck, was just for pushing snow.
so, and actually, I think that was a 2002, I believe, that, we got rid of a 2000, a 2002, and a 2004.
So do we have another one with a plow?
No, we just
So,
have
We
the,
probably need another one with a plow, then, no?
we have the Dodge, I think they came from Highway. It's like maybe a 2005, I don't know.
No
I
plow.
don't know, that's
No
like-
plow.
I think that's like 96, No, maintenance only has one vehicle now, which Chris hauls yard debris and if he's got to move stuff around offices and that he uses, so, there is still a tractor in the maintenance shed, a little John Deere loader tractor that's got a bucket and a pull behind straight plow to do sidewalks with, but no lawn mowers, nothing else.
Thanks.
Any other discussion? All right, make sure everybody takes their mail today.
Look over that and be prepared for Tuesday. Next up, appoint IMRF authorized agent.
We do not currently have one. She went north, so it looks like it's gonna fall on Amanda's shoulders for a little bit, if that's the way we wanna go, unless, that's the way we were gonna go,
So
so.
we'll accept that as an interim at this point?
It'll be an interim deal. There should be very little discussion unless you wanna talk about it, but that's our option. But we do need a motion and a second and a vote to make it work. So, Mr. Alt makes the motion to appoint Amanda Longfellow as the IMRS authorized agent. Is there a second? Mr. Curtis. Any questions on that part? Again, it'll be on an interim basis, but interim, I don't know how long interim, so. Go ahead. Call the roll, Amanda, please.
Alt.
Yes.
Mills.
Yes.
Curtis.
Yes.
Johnson. Anderson.
Yes. (2019) preliminary IMRF rates is next up. Did they get a copy of this? I'll just, again, it's on there for preliminary. I'll pass it around, but basically information until it gets to be legit here. 2018's regular IMRF rate was 9.56 and the SLEP was 14.47. Going forward, the 2019 preliminary is 5.11% IMRF and 10.15% SLEP. We'll pass more information along when it gets to be a solid number, but that's just preliminary information. Take a look at that. Good.
We've been proactive on that the last few years.
Oh,
It
you know.
really helps.
Yeah. It needs future boards
To save
stay
the
on top of it, yeah.
Don't end up like the state of Illinois.
No. Next up, discussion and motion to approve the joint dispatch contract per arbitration ruling. I know it came in after policy before today, last Thursday and today it came in, it got forwarded to the finance, or not finance, did you guys do that? Okay. No, I'm not surprised. But everybody will get it after this to go over, but there needs to be it's been ruled upon, so we just need a motion to get it to the full board. How we're gonna fund it is a different animal altogether too, but for now, it needs to basically get out of this committee, discussion and motion, that's why it's on there, to get it to the full board, and we'll talk about it there, but there's no new news, it just finally got it all typed up, wrote up. John went through part of it, we all need to go through it, but our attorney was fine with it, as far as verbiage.
Our attorney being.
Our attorney meaning the labor, yeah, Mr. Hammond. Yeah, no other attorneys, yeah, our labor attorney.
Yeah, there was
No extra labor attorneys, none that's done.
I remember on that, was
Not our state's
a little bit of typo type information he wanted to get corrected, apparently he did.
Yeah, that's basically it. I would entertain a motion to approve the joint dispatch contract at this time.
I would move that we send it to the full board.
Motion on the floor to send the joint dispatch contract to the full board as per arbitration ruling. Is there a second? Johnson. Any questions on that?
When will we get the copies?
I'll get to this. We'll let you know. Yeah, we'll let you know today. That way you got time before Tuesday to go over it. It's fun reading. No questions? Go ahead, call the roll, please.
Hope.
Yes.
Bills.
Yes.
Curtis. Johnson. Yes. Anderson.
Yes. Okay, that'll be on the full board agenda. The financial policies. Look to my right, I don't have a finance director, so our policies are still in limbo. We have till the end of this fiscal year to get these reviewed and approved. There's not. I talked to her last week. It's some minor changes. I'll start bringing them next month. Maybe we'll have somebody else here too to do that. But we have till November, but we don't want to wait until the very end. That's just kind of an information. This is not our quarter to discuss cash trends. Again, it wouldn't matter anyways. We're a little short staffed. Claims, I have finance and zoning here. We should have a copy of their claims. Second, in case you haven't looked through them, to look through them. And some animal control, yeah, that's the top one.
I think there was something in the late, so she put it in the time.
You want to do them all together?
I would, unless somebody sees a problem with it.
Not a lot of inspections going on.
Nothing, no building going on.
Yeah,
But just for, Bates Brown is finally retired from construction inspection. I've hired Jeff Meyer from Menarga. He's an independent contractor. They're all independent contractors, all my three of my inspectors, so Bates is done, so that should be his last claim.
when was his last day?
He didn't have a specific day, he just,
Said I'm done?
his ill health, and he found out he couldn't get out to do any inspections, and his sister's actually the one that turned all his stuff in. I mean, not his sister, his daughter.
What are their qualifications for the construction part? Do they gotta take classes or?
The only inspector that has to be licensed is the plumber. And Barney just did his continuing ed and his qualifications for that, so. I've taught it in there too.
Yeah, no? I would entertain a motion to approve the claims as presented to the Finance Committee. Mr. Curtis, is there a second? Second. Mr. Bills. Are there any questions on the claims? board votes, please, Amanda?
Paul?
Yes.
Jones? Curtis?
Yes.
Johnson? Anderson?
Yes. Okay. Any old business for the finance committee? New business for the finance committee? Okay, under new business, I know there's been a few applicants. Speaking with Mike this morning for the finance director position, I didn't get into it with him. We had a meeting with another guy, but press on. It's advertised 3 or 4 different spots, 4 or 5 different spots. No other new business. Entertain a motion to adjourn. Stay. Charlie, motion to adjourn, is there a second?
Second.
Sherry.
Oh my goodness.
All right. All in favor, say aye. Vote. Anybody?